I want to make sure we get to the work you're doing on OpenSats before we finish the conversation. Can you maybe start by just highlighting for people what OpenSats is and why you decided to start working on it?
Yeah, so thanks for asking. OpenSats is a nonprofit which supports free and open source software, specifically, Bitcoin contributors. So one thing that a lot of people don't know is like Bitcoin is open source software. It is just code that is maintained by hundreds of people, around the world who are actively contributing, and oftentimes they're not being paid. And so this creates like kind of a free rider problem where you want the smartest people in the world working on Bitcoin because it really matters. But if they're not getting paid to do it, it's not really an economically rational thing. Theoretically, these people should go work for Facebook or the government, and someone that's going to pay them a bunch of money. And so in order to keep the Ben Carmans and the Tony Giorgios and all these core developers who are actually building Bitcoin, the tools that we need to maintain a free society where money is separate from the government. In order to do that, we need to have some sort of like kind of funding mechanism for them. So we are a 501c3, so the IRS has approved us. You can donate to us, you can write off your taxes. Your corporation, if you're working for a big company, might actually match a donation, but you can come to us and you can donate to BTC Pay Server or Zeus Wallet or a privacy implementation of your choice. Anyone really. What we do is we list like a bunch of projects on there. Again, BTC Pay Server's up there. Some wallets, some designers, some educators, but anyone can come and apply to be listed as long as their work is free and open source and it supports it's Bitcoin related. And then you can just come to OpenSats. You can donate Bitcoin. You can donate with a credit card or debit card, and it's tax deductible. You write it off, and you can support the project that you want. And so it's kind of a unique little situation where you can always, of course, like go donate to a project of your choice directly, but we give you like a tax-free avenue to do it. So if you're a big corporation and you want to simultaneously pay less tax and support the Bitcoin ecosystem, then you can do that. And same if you're just an individual pleb. And so I think what we hope is that one day everyone is donating $1 or $2 a month and is actually maintaining this ecosystem where we keep the smartest people in the world working on Bitcoin. And we're just kind of a platform to match projects with donors and do it in a tax-free manner. And, yep.
Very cool. Yeah, this has been something that I think for a lot of the history of open source software, there's been this like elephant in the room has always been like, how do you fund it? How do you make sure it gets funded, especially if it's free? And so I guess my question to you is like, do you think that this donation approach is going to be the preferred funding mechanism for open source software within Bitcoin ecosystem, but also outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem?
I think it kind of has to be. It's a yet to be solved problem. So like, here's the game theory in me. Like it's what you call the free rider problem. Because Bitcoin is a public good that everyone can use, everyone can benefit, and they don't have to pay for it, then like no one ends up paying for it. And so, luckily we have some amazingly, moral and good-willed people who just like love the challenge and probably love the vision, of Satoshi, and, trying to separate money from state and create this like perfect money for the world. And to date, that has been enough. But like, if all these people were, being compensated fairly, we would have more and more contributors to Bitcoin. We would have, more security researchers. We would have more people working on Lightning and building out additional layers and protocols. So I think that it kind of has to be funded this way. Like Bitcoin can't pay for itself. It incentivizes miners and it incentivizes, hash rate and the security of the system, but it doesn't really incentivize, developers and progress on top of the protocol. And unless you just want to like cross your fingers and hope that, people like Ben Carman and like all these like core main, there's probably, I think it's like 20 to 30 like really, influential core maintainers now. Unless you just want to hope that they contribute moving forward, and you think like the world is this happy place where everyone just gives for free, then I think you have to give back. And there are There are exchanges that have made millions and millions and billions of dollars, and some of them give back, some of them give to core maintainers. A lot of them are giving out grants. Some of them are starting kind of like micro bounties, so they pay for the things that they want to see. That's another good mechanism. But really, there's strength in numbers. There's millions of people using Bitcoin. There's not that many people maintaining it. So like, if I think Matt Odell said this, like if every pleb gave just like, you know, $3 or $4 a month, like we could easily generate millions of dollars a month in revenue to incentivize designers, educators, protocol researchers, you know, just software developers like that. You know, a little bit from a lot of people will go a really long way. And I don't know, unless you've solved the free rider problem, I think this is the way it's going to have to happen. And luckily we get to build in, you know, because we're 501c3 approved, you know, you can pay less tax and give back to Bitcoin at the same time. So that's always nice.